Good morning, folks, and welcome to this episode of Michael's Backyard Marina. Today, if you've been following my $100 boat project here, I'm going to pull the outdrive off. We found out the other day that the motor was seized, so we're going to go ahead and pull the outdrive off to get that out of the way. I'm going to show you how I do that, and then we're going to pull the motor next. The outdrive is actually pretty easy to pull off for the most part, so let's walk through a few of the steps it's going to take to do it. Few steps we got to take to pull this off. It's pretty simple. Basically, we need to take these two nuts loose here, pull these hydraulic shafts loose from the lower unit, and that'll let this thing drop down right now. And then, or you could have it already lowered and take it off either way. Then we'll take these 4 bolts off here, or actually there's 6 nuts here. Then this whole unit will slide out. But I need to get this thing out of my way first because I want to be able to put my engine hoist on here and hook on to here to be able to support it, so when I break those 6 bolts loose, I can just slide it straight out without having to try to muscle everything around. You can do it without a engine hoist, but that is the hardest way to do it. So let's go ahead and pack these bad boys off. And save all your hardware, even if you're salvaging the boat, because a lot of this stuff is stainless and it's expensive, and you never know when you might need a stainless bolt or screw. There you go, that's coming off pretty easy. We should be able to. Ooh, I'm gonna need a pry bar, I do believe. I'll be right back. What I've got here, folks, is just a regular old pry bar that I've slid a piece of rubber hose over. What that'll allow me to do is get in here and do some prying without doing any damage in case I slip to hurt any cylinders or scratch anything up I don't want to scratch up. Just like that. Boom. That one's off. This one's gonna be. There we go. Like that, the whole unit should drop. What I'll do is take all these rubber pieces, slide them back on the shafts, and put the nuts back on them so it's all just kept together as an assembly. Now that these are free, and if you want to, you can go ahead and take the other nuts off, get them out of your way too. It's not absolutely necessary. The next thing I need to remove, I was going to get this thing out of my way. I'm not going to use it. And that's what I was afraid of. It's actually nuts on the inside. Well, we're gonna go and try to do it without doing that, so I'm gonna see if I can hook onto there. Okay, we got the cherry picker in place. It's up against this a little bit. I'm gonna see if I can make it work. Go ahead and back off these last 2 nuts. Now that they're backed off, we'll see if we can get it to break loose. Looks like it's broke loose there. I think I'm going to go ahead and lower the front of the boat down some. There you see we got it kind of teetering. Should be able to wiggle it off of there. As you can see, I'm just gently working it out. Just like that. Pick up on it a little bit more here. There we go. And I kind of expected to see a little bit of rust in here. But that joint's tight. But yeah, that's how easy this whole lower unit comes off. Not too bad. And basically to go back in, it's reverse. And what you want to do is make sure this is all the way out when you go to put it back in, which is basically your forward gear on any clockwise turning or turning prop. So when you put it back together, this engages with a fork in here and goes back into neutral as you push it forward. And you put your bolts back in, your new gasket will go back on, and all that kind of fun stuff. So there, the lower unit's off. Once that's out of there, now that I've got this piece out of the way, I can get to the inside and I'll be able to lift the motor out. And then I'm going to discover how to remove one of these guys. I want to get that piece all the way out of the boat because those are a lot of expensive parts there. If they were ever damaged or anything on my boat, I got spare parts that I can replace it with. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward, folks. Definitely not rocket science. Well, folks, if you're thinking about removing the lower unit off your Mercruiser outdrive, you see it's pretty simple to do. It doesn't take many bolts, doesn't take many tools. Actually, the outdrive is actually pretty light. I'm a pretty big guy, but they're pretty light overall. Some kind of hoist or something makes it easier to manage without pinching fingers or dropping it on your feet or anything like that. So I suggest still using something of that nature to do it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. Get out there and do something fun today, folks. Don't let fear rule your life. Michael out.